Hello, this is Lam from Drone Rental Supply, and today I'd like to introduce you to our ready-to-go 250 racing quad. The reason why we use the term ready to go, it's because the package includes everything you need in order to start using your racing quad. So as you can see in front of here is our case. It's a nice, affordable case that will protect your quadcopter and your transmitter. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's inside the case. Here are the buckles. When you open it up, this case right here right now houses the transmitter. So what you get is a Quadcopter Devo 7. It's brand new. It's going to take AA batteries, but you can get a LiPo battery for it. That's optional. Here is the wire for a buddy system so that you can train other people. We generally don't use this, but the wire is included. We have the CD, which contains the user manuals. We have the charging system. So this is the charging system that you get with it. And this charges the quadcopter LiPo battery. So we packed it into this case so that we can keep the quadcopter case kind of light. Here are all the tools necessary to work on your quadcopter. Again, we put it into this case so that we can keep the other case pretty much free and light. So this is everything that's included in the transmitter case. So our quadcopter case is the exact same as our transmitter case. So one of the things that we would recommend is you can just get a silver Sharpie and then write which case it is. We haven't done that because it's really a preference thing. So just to let you know that it's the exact same case. So if you look at the bottom and the other side, it's a very affordable case, but it gets the job done. We figured that you'd actually want us to spend the money on the quad and not so much on the case. We want this to be the most affordable system possible for beginners. So inside the quadcopter case, what you get is the quadcopter itself, obviously. Let's talk about the accessories first. You get a 1300 milliamp luminaire battery. So that's this battery right here. It's a very good battery. You get a voltage checker that you're going to use for your quad, and we'll go more into that when we actually start making instructional videos on how to fly this quadcopter. You also get an Allen wrench, which you can use to take off the nut to replace propellers if you need so. And in the next part, we'll go ahead and talk about the details of the quadcopter. So let's talk about the details of this quadcopter. As you can see in front, we have a FPV system already built in, so you don't have to actually spend the money on an FPV system. It's a nice little camera that fits right into here. It's recessed in, so it's protected against crashes. Up top is a 200 milliwatt transmitter, so it'll transmit at 5.8 gigahertz. So all you need to do is have a pair of goggles or a monitor that can pick up 5.8 gigahertz. Inside right here is the receiver. So this is what talks to the Quadcopter Devo 7, your transmitter or your controller. Back in here is your flight control system. In this case, this is a CC3D, and it's inside a protective case so that in case you crash, the board is actually protected. Out on the wings, what we have are 6-inch props. So we went with the premium props, and we went with different colors just for aesthetics. There's really no difference in terms of what the props do. It's the same prop. We just chose different colors just to make it look nice. You can get all green props, all orange props, and they also make black props. The only thing that you have to understand is that if you're a beginner, we have silver nuts and then we have black nuts. And what you'll notice is that blades will either spin clockwise or counterclockwise. So it's really important that if you actually are replacing these props, that you replace them with the right either clockwise or counterclockwise position props. When you buy props from us, you'll either get one counterclockwise and one clockwise, just to let you know. Back here, what you see is this is where you're going to put your battery. So I can demo that for you real quick. So What we have here is your LiPo battery that you're going to get with this quadcopter. And what you want to do is you want to use your battery checker or voltage checker, and you want to plug it in so that it'll tell you how much voltage you have left. And you should check out our voltage checker video to show you how to use this with your quadcopter. But you go ahead and strap it in. We actually bundled in an extra long strap so that you can wrap the strap all the way to the bottom. So if I were to show you the bottom, it wraps all the way down here nicely so that it doesn't flap around or it doesn't hang off somewhere. So it's nicely snugged in. And you go ahead and plug this in. So now this is powered up. So one thing that I would want to tell you is that these transmitters that's pushing out video, they get really hot. So you don't want to leave this plugged in and not flying, because it needs air to be moving around from these props or moving forward in order to keep it cool. So never leave it plugged in for too long. As you can see on the back, we have red LEDs, and then on the front we have blue LEDs. And that is a quick look at the quadcopter. We'll actually introduce some videos to tell you how to actually fly this thing. So let's go ahead and quickly go over what the Davos 7 transmitter does and how it's packaged. So out of the box, you'll get these nice little foam protectors for your sticks. We really recommend using these when you're going to use the case, as they'll protect your sticks. So this is the throttle, and as you can see, the throttle doesn't have a spring like you would have on this side. This is so you can finally control your quadcopter. Remember, this is a completely manual system, so you're the one that's going to be doing most of the controlling of that quadcopter and keeping it in the air. If we go to the back, this is where you're going to keep your 8 AA batteries. Again, you can take this out and you can go ahead and buy a LiPo battery. We're going to probably carry those LiPo batteries, but we haven't gotten them in yet. But I would recommend replacing it with a LiPo battery, as that will significantly simplify how many AA batteries you would have to buy. So for the most part, none of these controls are enabled right now. The only one that's enabled is this switch right here. So for this switch, in the backwardmost part, that's beginner mode. If you flip it to the center, that's advanced or racing, and this is complete manual. So in complete manual, you can actually overpower your flight controller and it'll do flips and stuff. So be aware that if you flip it all the way to the frontmost switch, that you'll have complete control of your quadcopter. So it's advised that you go ahead and start with the beginner mode and then move your way up. And that's a look at the transmitter. The power button, you just turn it on and you're off on your way. Again, we're going to make a beginner series on how to use this quadcopter. This is just a brief look at the transmitter. This is just a brief look at the ready-to-go system that we've put together. Now, if you have any questions, please leave it in the comments below. Also, we're going to be offering this online and locally here in Louisville, Kentucky. So if you're within Louisville, Kentucky, just keep an eye out on our social media sites and we'll tell you where you can actually buy this locally. Until next time, have a good day and fly safely.